Guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So we got the truck today since we are going to pick up the new wheels. The shop that I am buying them from, that I purchased them from, is about an hour away. The shop is called Versus Autosports. They sell a lot of high-end Volk racing, a lot of high-end wheels in general. So we're gonna head over there, pick them up, and I can reveal the new wheels to you. Weren't able to tell, Volks CE28s, these are the club racers. The finish is a diamond dark gunmetal, is my favorite finish on Volks. It is basically like a gunmetal. It's like a blacker gunmetal with a hint of bronze. So it's kind of a mix of all the favorite colors of Volks. So it's really, really nice. As you can see, the weds are a little bit more blingy, a little bit more shiny, whereas the finish on the Volks are simply just way, in my opinion, nicer. Now the decals, this is what makes the club racers the club racers. It comes with these specific decals, so you get two on the spoke, right, one right there, so it's kind of like a triangle effect. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep them. They were already on the wheels when I got them, so I decided just to hang on to them, see if I like them. If anything, I could just peel them right off, so it's not a big deal. So if you guys don't know, my previous set of wheels before the weds were the Enkei RS05RRs. They were actually the exact same spec as these, 18 by 9.5 plus 35. So I'm very, very familiar with the Fitment. I liked it a lot. It actually fits a little bit better than the weds, the 18 by 10s. So they should fit really, really nice. Now I decided to go with a different tire this time around. I decided to go with some Michelin Cup 2s, which is literally one of the best street tires you possibly can get. These things are absolutely insane. 265, 35, 18. These are a little bit more bubbly than the PS4S's, but I'm looking forward to it since it's a little bit, I don't want to say weaker offset than these, but it's a ½ inch smaller or not as wide. And, you know, these are 18 by 10s. It should fill in very, very nicely from the 10s to the 9.5s. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. Now, I tried to get PS4S's in 265, 35, 18s for these, but honestly, anywhere in the entire country, there's only 2 left. So even if I got those 2, I wouldn't be able to get another 2 until September. So honestly, I was not going to wait that long. So I decided to kind of go all out, get some really, really nice tires, and throw them on my dream wheels. People are probably wondering why I didn't go with the ZE40s, which I've always talked about. Simply put, the weds are basically, I don't want to say a cheaper version of them, but they're very, very similar to the ZE40s. So going from the wed TC105X's to the ZE40s is not that big of a change. Whereas this, I get it's kind of similar in terms of the spoke, the amount of spokes at least, but it's a different design. There's a little bit of a lip, there's more concave, and it's just a different looking wheel. This is actually my second set of CE28s that I've ever had. I've actually had a set on my E46 M3. They were in 19s though, which was my first mistake. I should have got them in 18s, but they were in Formula Silver. So a really, really classy looking wheel. They looked really nice. But overall, I prefer this color over the Formula Silver than I had previously many, many years ago. And this is just an absolutely beautiful wheel. Now, I picked these up from Versus Autosports. They're not too far away from me. Really, really good deals. They have an amazing assortment of wheels in stock, which is really nice. That is one of the things I also wanted to do. I didn't want to deal with any wait times. I still have friends that ordered Volks nearly a year ago, and they still have not come in. So finding something that I wanted in stock was really, really important to me. So these were in stock. I've been eyeing these up for quite a while. So I decided to snag them. Versus was absolutely awesome. They got me exactly what I wanted. Great prices and everything. And one of the best parts about it is they're able to mount and balance tires right then and there. But not only that, they have black wheel weights. I know it's a very, very small detail, but honestly, that is a big deal to me since I'm all about the details. So having black wheel weights that blend in very, very nicely to these wheels, and you won't be able to see them, is really important to me. Now, granted, there's not many of them on this wheel. There was only, what, 3 there. And there's none around the rest of the wheel, and there's not that many, but even so, you can look on the weds over here. They're right up front and they're silver and they just don't look that great. So having them nice and hidden on the back of the wheel there is really, really nice. So what I'm actually going to do tonight first is actually ceramic coat these because I want to make sure these stay looking fresh. I ceramic coat any wheel that I get. The weds were ceramic coated when I first got them. So I'm going to go ahead and coat these as well. I'm going to be using the same ceramic coating that I used on the calipers the other night, which is CarPro C-Quartz Deluxe. It's a dedicated wheel caliper plastic trim type of ceramic coating. It's much more durable. It's going to last much longer. And it's only 1 coat, whereas the G-Technic CSL and XOV4 has a total of 3 coats, so it takes much longer. So I'm going to go ahead and do a coat of them on here tonight, and then I'm actually going to get them installed as well, since I really, really want to get these on the car, see how they look, and I want to take the car out tomorrow for a drive. All right, so we got the first wheel on the block, I guess, butcher block, but we're going to go ahead and use this. This is CarPro C-Quartz Deluxe, so it's specifically for plastic, vinyl, rubber, car wheels, and brake calipers. I used these on the brake calipers the other night, so I'm going to go ahead and use them on the wheels as well. I'm going to coat the faces, go around, coat the barrels. One thing I want to mention is you do not want to coat any of the stickers. If you do that, it actually rubs off, it rubs all the writing off. So you want to be really careful. I'm just going to go around those and make sure I don't mess those up because those are important and you don't want to screw them up. Let's go ahead, let's get the first wheel done. Then we can move on to the other 3 and then we can get to actually putting them on the car. So we are all finished with coating the actual wheels. If you notice, there's only 3. I actually installed one of them on the driver front just to get a feel for the fitment. Since these tires are a little bit thicker, I just wanted to make sure. They fit awesome. I'm really, really happy. But I wanted to kind of show a comparison side by side between the Wet Sport and the CE28. Now you can kind of easily see the color difference as this is a little bit more, I guess, blingy, where this is a little bit more subdued, a little bit more aggressive in my eyes. Now this tire is a Michelin PS4S 265/35, and these are Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s. You get these on exotics, GT3RSs. You can get them factory. So really, really good tire. I'm really looking forward to trying them out. Overall, the thickness is very, very similar. Like I said, this one's a little bit more bubbly, I guess, a little bit more meaty, which is my preferred fitment. I really don't like stretch, whereas these are, I guess, a little bit stretched, barely, but these offer a little bit more meatier look. So really, really looking forward to getting them all in the car. I can't wait to actually see it, since on that side it's a little close to the wall. I can't really get a good look, but let's go ahead. Let's throw them on the car. Let's get them kind of situated. And then I'll probably catch back up with you tomorrow when I get the car out so you can see it in the daylight. We can get a better walk around of the car and everything, get a better idea of the fitment and all that. But yeah, let's throw these on the car. I'm getting really antsy. I want to see them. So, all right, so before we go ahead and throw the passenger side wheels on, let's go ahead and weigh the difference. Now, these are pretty light. These are 18.1 pounds each, and they're 18 by 10s, and they're not forged. So it's a very, very light wheel. So overall, it's a very, very nice wheel if you want to get some really nice lightweight wheels that you're not going to pay, you know, Volk money. But honestly, but I'm curious between the difference with the tires, just overall the Volks being forged, and just if it is any lighter at all. I really don't expect it that much, to be honest. I'm not sure of the weight of these, but it's probably around the 17 to 18 pound mark. And like I said, these are 18.1. So it's going to be very similar. One of the tires is probably a little bit heavier too, so we'll see the difference. It's not going to be exact science. This scale is really old, but we can get a general idea of just the difference in weight between the two wheels. So we're going to do the wets first. Let's go ahead and put these on the scale. So we are looking at 47.5 pounds for the Weds and the PS4S's. Let's go ahead and weigh the Volks. All right, so we got the Volks here. Get the scale ready. All right, so let's throw it on. See what we got. 43, so what was 47.5? So it's about 4.5 pound difference. Wow. I don't know how accurate this is, but that's a pretty big difference. 4.5 pounds per wheel. Again, this is not perfect science here, but just on a basic scale, 47.5 and 43. So huge difference between the two. Man, these things are yes, I freaking love it. Now, I didn't put any tire dressing or anything on yet. I just threw it on. I also have to go around and de-nib the little nibs on the tires as well. I did that on the other side already, but man, these things look freaking awesome. Now, I'm running negative 3.5 camber right now, so it's pretty aggressive. So I could actually probably dial it out a little bit if I wanted to. But I might play with the spacers later on once I get some mileage on these wheels just to kind of get used to it. It definitely fit very, very well. 18 by 9.5 plus 35 is a really, really good fitment for these cars. I love it. Again, this was the same fitment that I ran on the Enkei RS05RRs, and I actually ran those 3mm spacers on them. So I might end up doing that, but we'll see. I just want to get used to these wheels and tires first, and then we can play with the fitment. But man, that is looking good. Nice and meaty and chunky. I love how aggressive it looks. These look a little bit more blingy, as I mentioned, but these just look super aggressive, and I love it. This is definitely what I was looking for. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get the last wheel on, which is right here. And then I'll catch back up with you probably tomorrow morning or afternoon once I get some time to get out and go for a drive and everything, make sure everything's all right. But yeah, I absolutely love the brake kit behind these wheels. They pop so much more than those. I mean, look at that, since it's a little bit darker. And then come over here, which obviously they still pop, but they don't pop out as much as on the Volks. And rolling down the road, it's gonna look amazing. So, all right, I'm sweaty. Let's get this last wheel on, and then we can call it a night. All right, guys, so we got everything installed. Looks fantastic. The car will settle a little bit once I drive it, since I had it jacked up and everything, but absolutely love how this turned out. And I opened up the hood for the main reason is because these wheels match all the carbon so well, and not to mention the red accents and the white accents match the engine bay perfectly. To be completely honest, I wasn't even thinking of that. But now seeing it all together, it just flows so well. You got the little red decals over here with the red intake manifold and all that. Obviously the brake kit with the little white bits in the engine bay. Everything is just tying together so nicely, and I'm absolutely, every single time I do something to this car, it's blowing me away. It's just, I love where this is going. I love where it's turned out. Super aggressive. I love the little lip on the back of the wheels. Like I said, I am running a decent amount of camber up front, but we can play with the fitment with spacers later on. But calipers clear, no problem. I had no issues at all. These clear big brake hits, obviously. The rear looks fantastic. I love it. Super aggressive. I can't wait to see it outside in the daylight, but let's get a back shot so you can see a little bit how the rear fits. And then kind of coming up front here, you can kind of see how the front fits. So definitely can play with the fitment a little bit, but I love where it's sitting right now. And I know it's not going to rub since I ran this almost exact setup with the end keys. Granted, it's a different tire, but it's very, very similar. And I really love that meaty fitment. Plus, with all the added power and everything, I'm not going to have any issues putting down the power to the actual wheels. So, all right, guys, I am absolutely beat. I got to pack these away. These are headed out to California later this week. I got to pack everything up properly. I hate shipping wheels just because I hate dealing with shipping companies and carriers and all that. But we're going to pack them up right and ship them out to the new owner later this week once I get some time to get it done. But those will be headed out. But so happy with the new Volks. Absolutely love everything about it. But I will catch back up with you guys tomorrow. I am absolutely beat. I had a long day. Plus doing all this with the car and all that, I'm done. So I'll catch back up with you tomorrow afternoon in the daylight so we can get some better shots. Guys, so here are some daytime shots. There's obviously the next day. This morning I went for a drive just to kind of test things out, see if I was rubbing anywhere, get used to the new tires and just the overall new setup. And holy crap, these Cup 2s are insane. They grip like crazy. I do notice you need to warm them up a little bit before you really get going. So as a daily driver kind of tire, I would definitely recommend the PS4s over these as a daily driver. For a car like this that you don't drive every single day, you take it out on the weekends, obviously a track car or something like that, I highly recommend the Cup 2s. They're not any noisier, or at least nothing that I noticed. Overall, it's very, very comfortable, very smooth. And I absolutely am over the moon with this setup. The wheels look phenomenal on this. In person, it is on an entirely different level. Obviously, on film and pictures and stuff, I can only show so much. But it looks absolutely perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for, and I'm so happy I went with the CEs. It looks fantastic. Now, let me walk around and show you the fitment from the rear and back just so you guys get an idea. Again, these are 18 by 9.5 plus 35. I'm running -3.5 camber all around. Now the fronts, I definitely think I can dial out some of the negative camber. It is tucked in a little bit. It does look really good. It handles very, very nicely, but I really think I can dial some back, maybe to around -3. But I can also add the 3mm spacer that I was talking about for a little bit more aggressive fit. I ran those 3mm spacers on my RS05RRs, and I love the fitment so much. But definitely has a decent amount of negative camber all around, but I love it. And again, it's not a daily driver, so I really don't mind the more aggression. But there is the driver's side. We'll go over to the passenger side. Obviously, same fitment. There we go. Nice and flush, nice and meaty, exactly the way that I like it. The front. There we go. Now I am thinking about raising the front a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do it right now simply because I plan on refreshing the suspension. I plan on getting some new Fortune Auto coilovers in the future. So I'm really not going to mess with it too much since I do love how it's sitting currently. Here is the front passenger fitment up front. As you can see, I'm running quite a bit of negative camber, but it still looks really good. I'm a big fan of the really chunky, meaty fitment. Very, very practical. It's very comfortable. I don't have to do any stretching of the tires or anything. Here is the driver's side with the camber. So it is tucked in, but again, I think it looks really, really good, especially in person. The color of the wheels, I think, matches lapis blue, at least my theme and kind of what I'm going for, very, very well. One thing that I am thinking about is either removing the red decals here. I do think they look cool, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it distracts too much, but I was trying to see if I can get them made in white with black lettering. I think that will look really, really clean. You know, getting some white decals, exactly how these are made, but just in white with black lettering. Now, the valve stems, I did try to get them in black, but unfortunately, all they had was blue. That was the only other option they had, and the red ones do come with the CRs, the club racers. So I decided to embrace it and just stick with the red. I could always change it down the road, but man, so happy with how this thing is turning out. It looks phenomenal. Now, one really cool thing that I honestly wasn't planning, but the engine bay and the wheels match perfectly. I got a gunmetal, which kind of matches the carbon. Got the red decals, which matches the intake manifold, and obviously the white matches all the white. So it kind of was a perfect storm. Everything kind of just lined up and works really well. So that is one of the reasons why I'm not removing the decals right away. I think it looks pretty cool, especially in person. It really does look good. Plus the red kind of matches the tails on the rear, so it's a really nice touch. Now, these do come with center caps, or at least you can get them, but I decided obviously not to run them since I'm running the Project Kicks hub rings and the Titanium Works axle nuts, and I think it looks really good. I always prefer that non-cap look. I think it looks really aggressive, but if I decide to pick some up, I can just always get caps that actually match this color. I can also pick up some really nice black ones. On my previous set on the M3, the caps that I ran were black with red lettering, and there was a carbon fiber backing, which looked really nice. So I may pick them up if I can find them. I believe they're kind of hard to find now, but man, absolutely love how this thing looks. I keep on saying it, but I'm just walking around the car right now. I'm gonna get a few pictures and everything for Instagram and just kind of to have, but absolutely, I just love it so much. And it's pretty crazy. This car has been out for, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, absolutely covered in pollen. It was perfectly clean. So kind of a pain in the butt, but hey, I really wanted to drive the car and enjoy it. So yeah, there is the look. I'm actually going to run out and go get some gas right now, enjoy the car some more. There will be more videos. I'm going to test fit with the spacers and everything. Obviously, I'm going to go over the overall review of the tires and kind of compare them to the PS4S's once I get a little more seat time. I still got to do a lot of videos on the exhaust and kind of the new power setup and all that. But I just wanted to share this with you guys because honestly, the support and everything that you guys have shown me over the last couple of years doing this whole YouTube thing is the reason why this car is sitting the way it is right now. Without your guys' help, without your support watching the videos and just creating the community that we are creating, it has helped tremendously to kind of realize my dreams and kind of create this perfect, in my eyes, STI. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. So a huge shout out to Versus Autosports for getting me the wheels and tires so quickly. Literally, it was like last week I was trying to decide on wheels and tires, and I already have them on the car, ceramic coated and ready to go. So huge shout out to them. Thank you so much. And again, thank you to all the subscribers and everybody that continues to support and follow me. I really do appreciate it. But that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.